No Exit from Pakistan by Daniel S. Murky. The story of the tragic and often tormented relationship between the United States and Pakistan. The author has produced a deep and rich policy analysis of Pakistani American relations. During a 1995 Senate hearing, then Assistant Secretary of State for South Asia Robin Raphael described the discontent of the Pakistanis, explaining that the key impact of sanctions relief is not military or financial. The effect would be primarily in the political realm, creating a sense of faith restored and an unfairness rectified with the country and people who have been loyal friends of the United States over the decades. This book argues that while Pakistani's leaders tend to be tough negotiators with high threshold for pain, Washington can cut new deals and level credible threats to achieve US goal. This is not a friendly game, but out of it both sides can still benefit. Knowing Pakistan is critical to understanding the US Pakistan relations. The author simply recommends that the solution for this troubled relationship is nothing other than patient, sustained effort, not by way of quick fixes or neglect, and mitigating threats over time is a more realistic expectation. The author blames the basket case quality of Pakistan on the country's political allies, who send their children to private boarding schools while millions of other children never learn to read. Who is responsible for Pakistan's problems? The author argued that the United States and Pakistan share in the blame. Islamabad is addicted to the US assistance dollar, whether in the form of grants, projects, or loan. Today, Pakistan is having an even harder time getting its house in order. This makes the country more vulnerable to outside pressure and more dependent on outside aid. No matter the significance of the Afghan war, it is important to recognize that Pakistan's regional profile does not begin or end in Afghanistan. Pakistan's connection with India and China are of equal or greater significance to Islamabad. The unanswered question is how China will use its newfound wealth and power, and in particular, whether it will seek to uproot US influence from Asia. Both George W. Bush and Obama administration have correctly viewed a good relationship with India as necessary for managing the implications of a rising China. In areas where size matter, India delivers its population is young and growing quickly, likely to surpass China's total by 2025. Beijing has been more inclined to pursue regional stability to discourage hostility between India and Pakistan. Beijing might continue to see Pakistan as a useful piece in its expanding sphere of influence throughout much of Central Asia. Pakistan's dramatic policy shift after 9/11 is best described as the product of a cold calculation by its top generals who control national policy. There is a fact that is too rarely appreciated by Pakistanis or Americans. Projects like Pakistan Tarbela Dam, for instance, have shown that the United States can assist Pakistan economy and indirectly at least address some of the country's underlying causes of instability and violence. Tarbela now serves as an essential part of Pakistan's national water management system. It provides roughly 30% of the nation's irrigation water in the dry season. America has three options for dealing with Pakistan in the future: defensive insulation, military first cooperation, and comprehensive cooperation. So, what should America do? Quit Pakistan and let Pakistan go its way, whichever it is? Should the US stop all aid to Pakistan? Asks author. How can we keep relation with Pakistan on track long enough to avoid ruining our counter-terror agenda and our plans for Afghanistan? For a brief period, the US was friendly towards India, as during the Clinton regime. It did not take the US anywhere. Pakistan and China may claim deep, abiding friendship, but in reality, both tend to mistake China's hard headed realism for generous altruism. As the author put it, in Pakistan's major war with India, as well as in more recent Indo-Pakistani crisis, Beijing assistance has been marginal. China has been more likely to counsel Pakistani restraint than to back its leaders to the hilt. The author feels no exit, for better or for worse. The US must stay put in Pakistan. In a way, for the Americans, you are damned if you do, and damned if you don't help Pakistan. Right now, as author sees it, there is no immediate way out. Patience is its own award. United States should begin by recognizing that Pakistan is not a lost cause. It is more like a race that must be run as a marathon rather than a sprint.